Welcome back to your live continuing coverage of Toy Fair 2015 with the Toy Industry Association on BeTerrific from the Jacob K. Javits Center in New York City. I'm Michael Artsis. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm so excited. You can hit us up, by the way, in our chat room on BeTerrific.com/live. Just go under the video player, and there is a chat room there. You can join it. Of course, you can also tweet at us, Twitter and Instagram at BeTerrificTV, and of course, connect at BeTerrific.com for the email. BeTerrific.com, it's where it's happening. I'm Michael Artsis, as everybody knows, and this is the great, the fun Richard North, who's from Wow Stuff. And you've got a lot of great, cool stuff that's all interactive and intelligent.
Yeah, we're trying to major on technology and toys.
Yeah.
So we've been working in the digital space for many years, and trying to bring toys to life and give a richer gameplay than we would perhaps normally expect from some products.
You look very much like an inventor. You're the inventor and creator behind all this stuff, right?
I would say I lead a really great inventor team. I get some good ideas, but I'm more commercial. So I'm looking for the technology bods to come out with some really great stuff that we can then put into the market.
So what I like about this stuff is that this is where, I think this is one of the biggest trends in the industry, is the convergence of digital and physical play. And it gets people to be a little bit more active, which is really important. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. We found when we came into the toy industry maybe 6 or 7 years ago that there was a lot of traditional stuff and that technology hadn't really come into its own in the toy industry. So we saw what the internet did to regular bricks and mortar businesses. And I think we looked at this and thought there's a similar opportunity here to be disruptive, bringing in great technology. So we put a team together which we call Wow Labs. So that's our technology side of our business. And these are a bunch of scientists, very smart guys. They've worked in all areas of technology previously before coming into the toy industry. And we wanted to bring some toys to life. And we looked at a project we call Real FX. Wasn't the original name. The original name for it was called Slotless Racers. Mm-hmm. And this is going back now 7 years ago. And we started work on it then. It's been a long, long process. And then we launched it on Kickstarter about a year and a bit ago. That went well. And now we're finally bringing it to the toy industry.
So here's the thing, is like, you've had a lot of no's in your life, clearly, as you're doing this. And you've had a lot of adversity. But yet you've pushed on. It's taken you so long. Most people would have given up. But that's part of being an inventor, a creator, and an entrepreneur. And I think there's a really good message from that as well.
I think you're absolutely right there, Michael. I mean, the toy industry, like a lot of industries, is no place for people who can't take a lot of no's. Mm-hmm. You're going to hear 100 no's, 1,000 no's before you get that final yes. Real FX Racing is a great example of that, because the original inventors, 8 years ago, before we met up with them a year later, they had this product, Slotless Racers. These cars go around a track using artificial intelligence. They know where they are on a track. They can read the track. They took it to the big toy companies, all the names that you guys know. And they knocked on those doors, and everything was, it's a clever product, it's a good product, but it's not for us.
Right.
So a lot of no's. And then we teamed up with them and we said, look, this is going to be a long process. At that point, this is 7 years ago, we thought it was 24 months before we could take the product to market. So that was then 5 years ago. And it came out last year. It was a big hit. We sold it into Japan and a few other places.
508 backers, 69,000 pounds.
Yeah.
And you were asking for 50,000 as your goal.
Yeah.
69,000 pounds is roughly about $105,000 American. And
it's quite an interesting story there, because in Europe, Kickstarter hasn't got the presence that it has over here in the States, but it is globally read. So we launched our PR a little bit in the UK, or about to, and a few other countries. We actually pulled it for a redesign of the product just the week before. So we launched it and had to change all the PR. Luckily, about 3 weeks into the program, some guys from Engadget, Mashable, they caught wind of the project. They asked us to show it to them, and of course we got great reviews from those guys. They really loved the idea of, we had track pieces that you could just slot together in a second.
All right, so let's show that. We've got some shots. Let's talk about the actually what we've got here. So let's show some of this off. It's pretty impressive. And it's similar to the Anke racing, but yet different in many different ways.
I think it's quite different. I think to that product. If you first of all look at the track. We're not a rollout track, and I know they've changed now to track pieces like ours. But if you look at our set from scratch when we launched, it's different pieces of track, but it is a vinyl matte material, so it's very low cost. You know, they slot together in just a second. There's no extra bits that you require.
Very
on this
quickly,
track.
we put this together, and everybody knows that I love slot car racing and slot cars, and we had the slot cars in here before. And so now slotless cars. I like that.
Yeah.
And this is the new way to do it. So maybe we can get Adam or somebody to come and help you, because you can't get up and put the cars down. You're wired up for sound. So maybe somebody can come over here and help us put the cars down. We'll get the cars on the track. Yep.
What I can do to help you guys and the viewers now that are looking is actually show you very quickly what this is capable of doing. Because it is a bit like, yes, it's a slot racer type car, but no slots. It has the content, the richness of
now,
video gameplay.
They were July 2014 was when it was funded.
Yeah.
Is it being delivered to the backers yet?
Oh, it went out.
It went
out bang on time. It went out back in early November.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's really amazing. I've never heard of a Kickstarter that went out on time.
Well,
Congratulations.
7 years of work to get it to that point.
I guess you were ready. 7 years got you ready.
It finally did, yeah. And it launched, and you know, the slot forums, they're talking about it. Somebody set up an unofficial Real FX forum, and it's got thousands of posts now. The feedback is fantastic. People love the gameplay. We're using a handset, so you've got digital proportional steering, so you can overtake or undertake absolutely anywhere on the track. So the wheels really are moving with micro adjustments, so you get that perfect in and out controllability.
I love it.
We can set the cars to autonomous mode, so we've got someone to race against when dad's not home or your friends aren't there, the cars you can race against. But the cool thing about this is everything is future-proofed. So you take off the body shell, you've got a smart chassis. You've got a power and data feed here with the USB hub.
Very nice.
So we can make smart shells that can do all sorts of stuff.
Also, additionally, is it possible that you could also modify your own cars? Because that's what I loved about doing slot cars when I was a kid.
The customization side. Oh, yes, you can.
All right, so can we race each other with this a little?
Yeah, sure.
Can we play with them?
Yeah, of course we can.
So we're going to get, Adam's going to help us out a little here.
Okay.
He's going to put the cars on the track. And
so what you'll hear, you've got audio commentary through the handsets all of the time.
Really?
So in real time, as the cars are racing around, this is going to tell you what's actually going on. Now, we haven't got a full track here.
Right, just a little
so it's more to show you what works. So if you, Adam, just put that car on the track, I've already switched it on. Now, you'll probably catch this on the microphone.
Yep.
When I switch this on.
Welcome to Real FX Racing.
Okay, I don't know whether you caught that.
Yep, we got that. It's
switch on the vehicle.
Yep.
It's automatically paired with the car. It's now asking me to choose a mode. I can go into practice mode, and I can get racing in seconds.
Okay.
Or I can go into championship mode.
Sure.
Now this is where it becomes like a video game. So it's set me off in a novice mode. I can change that to expert, or I can go to custom. So it's like leveling up in a video game.
Sure.
I can make it as easy or as difficult as I like. I can then choose the number of laps, 10, right the way up to
60 laps.
1,000
We're qualifying
laps.
for the Daytona 500 here. By the way, Jeff Gordon, since we're talking about racing, he took the pole for the Daytona 500.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this lends itself to all that sort of race play, that gameplay, and that licensing pattern.
And I have to give Digital Phil and Jaybird credit for giving me that information in the IRC chat room.
Well done.
Yeah.
So I've accepted the number of laps. It's asking me now if I want tyre wear. So this will now monitor the speed I'm going around a track. So if I'm racing you, Michael, and you're racing nice and smooth, just like a real car, okay, nice and smooth around the bends, you're not over accelerating and tearing up your tyres, but I am. The system knows. It feeds it back to me and it says tyre wear. If I continue to race like that, it'll ask me to make a pit stop. If I don't make the pit stop, I'll eventually have a tyre blowout and I have to return to the pit.
That's pretty cool. I like that a lot.
Fuel consumption. So I can turn these on or off.
This is unbelievable.
Random hazards.
The guys in the chat room have to be going nuts over this too, because I mean this is genius.
Thank you.
Digital Phil says this is genius. I mean he just said it, and it's so true. Like literally, as I said that, it came up. I mean, I love that idea because that's the one thing about like playing with slot cars and stuff that I missed was that I couldn't do pit stops and all this stuff. So I like this.
What we've set out to do is try and replicate real driving as closely as possible.
So okay, let's do it.
I
can't wait.
Let's start. Okay. So I'm going to target hazards and random oil spills, you name it, we've got it. So we're ready to go. So now I'm just going to switch on the check button.
Yep.
Now if you watch what happens with the car, it's going to find its center of the track. So whoops, wait, great. First off, I position it in wrong. Okay, we've got a bit of interference, I think, coming in here.
Yeah,
so
it's,
this is not
look, it's a convention center, so there's a lot going on.
But that's probably what it is.
Okay.
We're working on 2.4 gigahertz.
Sure.
So if we just switch that
we're probably
car
killing
off.
you with what we're doing. Yeah.
Oh, you're working on similar frequencies? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So normally in most environments, what would have then just happened? The car would have found the center of the track,
Yeah.
but you can steer it left and right anywhere within that track. Now, if you go
Okay.
too fast, just like a slot racer,
Yeah.
it will come off the track around a bend. So if you don't slow for the bend. So it's sticky, but it's not stuck.
I love
if
it.
it comes off, you just hit the RC button.
And it comes
You've
back.
disabled the opto sensors underneath, and it'll come straight back on the track. You drive
That's
it straight
great.
back on the track, and it knows all the time how fast each lap
All
is.
right. What advice would you give to young inventors? You clearly have gone through the mill with this, and I love how the technology is really coming into toys. What advice would you give to young inventors?
Well, number one, don't give up,
Yeah.
but try and find the right toy company for your invention. You know, sometimes we get inventors that come to us, great ideas, but we've got the wrong strategy for their product. So you've got to do the research first, find the right company for your product. Then be persistent. Keep knocking on doors, as many as you can. As we said at the very beginning, you're going to get a lot of no's, but don't give up.
How much money did you guys have to invest into this company before you got it to Kickstarter? I mean, I would imagine you're talking, oh God, it had to be a $500,000, maybe $1 million.
It's more than that. It's
Just to get to Kickstarter.
Yeah. It was a substantial amount of money.
So why go to Kickstarter at that point? Why not just bring it to market yourselves?
Yeah, and people have asked us that before. So what we did is we decided to split out the technology side to our business and have it as a standalone. It's got to stand on its own 2 feet. So WOW Labs is now a standalone company. They decided to take it to Kickstarter rather than be funded by WOW stuff, and that's exactly what they've done. And now they're up and running. We've got all the big retailers on board.
Oh,
So it's
that's
coming to market.
where I forgot about the WOW Labs part of it. That's where I lost the dollar tracking. All right, so can I try this?
Yeah, sure.
All right,
So what we're going to do now, we've switched this car
Yep.
off. Okay, so I'm going to switch this car on.
FX Racing.
It's a great story. And so how much are these? If I want to buy them, the 2 cars and the track and the remotes, how much are we?
We're going to be about $140.
For 2 cars and the track?
2 cars, 2 handsets.
Yeah.
With the full track, 16 pieces of track, 18 different track layouts.
Wow.
So you've got a very comprehensive set.
A lot of
from day
chicanes.
one.
We've got a
And
little
it's all
chicane
future.
right here. All right.
Okay. So here we go.
We're going to put that down. Now you've...
Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do just for a moment, I'm going to
Yeah.
squeeze the accelerator just gently. Okay, we didn't turn off the other car.
Okay. Now we got
So
2
we're
cars
now
driving.
paired up
So
with
we
the other
need,
car. We
Brian,
need to turn off
if
the
you
other
could
car.
turn that one off, yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, so what the car is doing is finding its own way around the track. Okay, so we're in digital AI, but we are getting a lot of interference on this track. Okay, here we go. Now, what we've been doing...
Is that all-wheel drive? It looks like all-wheel drive.
Actually, you know what, Michael? I
Yeah.
made a big sin. I've just done a big mistake. The reason why it didn't work the first time around, it's not anything to do with the Wi-Fi in here. I was facing the car the wrong direction.
Oh, that's
I
good.
wasn't looking at the arrows.
Ladies and gentlemen, the inventor of the WOW stuff.
Now
There you
watch
go.
what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, squeezing it, and it's looking for the center of the track. Okay, do you want to just put this back on at the beginning of the track here? I'll just do that
Excellent.
again, just so people can see it. Okay, so I'm just tickling the accelerator just to show you so the camera can keep up.
Yep.
So I wasn't steering anything, but it was
Right.
finding its own way around. If you want to put it back there, Michael will do the same thing. So you just tickle the accelerator.
Okay.
And as you
Never
get
heard
better,
that. Tickle the I
as
hear
you get
better,
better,
yeah.
as you get better, you're going to use the steering
How do we get
during the game.
Okay, how do we get shifting involved in this?
Shifting. You mean
Like if
gear
I
shifting?
Yeah, I want to gear shift.
Oh, well, you've got on the accelerator there. You've got to
Yeah.
almost imagine it like a flappy paddle system. So it's going up through the gears automatically for you.
By the way, we don't need him to put it at the beginning.
You just did it, yeah.
So, okay, it goes through the gears
yeah,
for us. But
so you're not steering. It's going to go through the gears. So you can accelerate to scale speed to 200.
Right, but I mean, later
miles per
on,
hour.
can we, as I get better, can I add more functionality into
Yes,
shifting
you can.
and stuff?
You
I
can. On the side of the handset,
Yeah.
you'll see a memory card slot.
Yeah.
And that's there for a reason. So what we can do is we can reprogram everything, the content, the gameplay, everything, and bespoke it
I'm already
for how
up to
you would like
steering,
it.
by the way.
Yeah.
Can I do a donut? Let's see.
You wait. Yeah. Well, now if you just disable the AI
Okay, yep.
sensors, you can drive it like a normal radio control car.
Try it.
Watch this.
Disable it for me. Yep.
Okay. It's now disabled. So now we can do
There
donuts.
we go.
There you go.
Here we go.
So we're now.
This is like, it's like Dad just took the toy away from me and it's going to play with it himself.
There you go.
All right, here
so
we
you got
go.
your steering,
Yep.
you've got normal RC. Then you hit the AI button, the RC button,
Yeah.
you're in artificial intelligence, and it will stick to the track.
This is insane.
If you
This
go
is
on
really
YouTube.
awesome. Where can I get this?
Oh.
I got to have this before the end of Toy Fair.
Let's get you a special set.
Oh, that would
let's
be
do that for
awesome.
you. But if you go on YouTube,
Yeah.
there's people that have fitted cameras. We've got cameras coming out. They've fitted GoPros to these. And you
Unbelievable.
just type in men racing badly. Put real FX.
Yeah.
Real FX, and then put
Real
men racing
FX.
badly, and you'll see a guy using one of these with a GoPro. And he's racing against the autonomous vehicle, and he's racing against his friend. It's
I can
phenomenal.
only imagine what we're going to do with this. Unbelievable. Really, really awesome. How do people, so where do they go to buy it?
Okay, so we're going to be
Anywhere.
launching. We're launching in many countries around the world. We've got to yet decide how we, going to come into the States. You can buy it, I guess, online from places all over the world.
Okay.
So the whole thing will be revealed very shortly.
Great.
Watch this space.
You got to come back on the Daily Show for BeTerrific when, so we can announce where people can find it.
I'd love to do that.
And in the meantime, go find it online, some other country. I got to have this. We got to have this. We're going to do
Michael,
it.
you're gonna get one.
What's
You're
the
gonna get one.
Thank you. I can't wait. I can't wait. What's the chopper?
The chopper.
Yeah.
A lot of toy helicopters in the
Yeah.
market. What Wow Labs have done is we've fitted ours with sonar.
Yeah.
So now what we've got
So it's
is
a dolphin.
we kind of, yeah. But this gives us auto takeoff,
Yeah.
auto hover, and auto land. So the biggest problem with toy helicopters
Yeah.
is when you switch them on and you accelerate, the first thing they do
Fly
is
up.
they fly straight, hit
Yep.
the ceiling, crash. So we've eliminated that problem. So now you've got sonar emittance underneath, it's now registering where it is, and it raises off the floor 1 meter and stays there in auto hover. You can then fly it with one joystick control at
Great.
that perfect level. Once you've got proficient, you can then switch to
Is
using the
is
high
that one ready to
control.
go? Can we try and fly it
Yeah,
on set?
sure. Yeah.
We got it on set. We'll take it to commercial this way. Thank you so much. This is awesome. Wow stuff and Wow Labs. And
Yep.
the cars are called what exactly?
The cars and the racing platform system is called Real FX.
Real FX, and that's what you need. And you don't have to use the track. You can just race them. Like we
Yeah,
did.
you can use
Yeah.
them normally, but you put the tracks in and you see the professionals racing around
Yeah.
these. If you look at the handset, it's designed like a pro hobby handset.
Right.
So when
No,
you
it
get
is, absolutely,
You know,
yeah.
so you will get super quick around these tracks
And then can you
racing
add like
properly.
the ability to like shoot other people with lasers and stuff? Can we do
Ah,
that?
of course you can.
Excellent.
Of course
so
you can.
Adam's going to grab
Just
the
drop
chopper.
that on the floor.
Here we go. I'm not
Okay.
going to try and fly it in here because I've never tried to fly it. So you're going to fly it.
One press foot. What we're going to do is we're going to do a one press system. If I can switch it on again. One press system. Why do all the toys, as soon as you try to put them in front of a camera, decide they don't want to switch
maybe,
on? Can we just grab that? Maybe I haven't switched on the actual
Yeah.
body of the
We've been talking
the
so much.
copter
Real
itself.
FX cars.
Real FX cars, and this is called TX Juice.
And they are
so
the
this
Real
is a
FX
new, brand new
racers.
radio control
TX
range.
Juice.
TX Juice. Whoops.
Here we go.
Okay, I think I just busted the prototype.
You
The only
busted the
I think I
prototype?
just busted the only prototype that we got, the
Uh-oh.
$5,000 prototype that they said don't take that downstairs because Richard,
oopsie.
You'll break this.
No,
Okay.
it's not
okay.
broken. It's not broken.
It's pretty broken.
Oh,
I've just pulled off the sonar sensors.
Glue,
but
glue, glue.
Okay, we tried, but it's not gonna. We're not
Okay,
gonna.
it's
We're
not
not
gonna
gonna.
work,
I've just pulled
but,
off. So there's the sonar sensors. So
Oh.
it does normally work. This is the first time that we've done it where it has not worked.
I'm going to trust you because this was so amazing. So we'll trust you. We'll look out for that.
Thank you.
And of course, we got to go get these. These are unbelievable.
Thank you.
It is called Wow Stuff. Richard North, thank you so much for joining us. Genius, pure genius. I love the stories and about it. And they're saying, Paul Dixon says, bosses always break stuff. I mean, my team couldn't tell you that.
Thanks, Paul, you're right.
Yeah.
yeah.
And my team couldn't tell you that enough either. So we'll be back with a whole lot more on our official Toy Fair coverage 2015 with the Toy Industry Association on BeTerrific. I'm Michael Artsis. This is the Jacob K. Javits Center coming to you live. We'll be back with a whole lot more. Don't go anywhere. Bye.